What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So during the pre-market, it is up 5.32%. Market does open in roughly 7 minutes. So this is looking like it's going through FOMO, not because of any macro data, because the manufacturing didn't really come in line with the forecast, but it is linked to the L90. So that was obviously a pretty good launch event. As you can kind of see, a lot of pictures, a lot of good PR that was put out there. But one thing that is really driving NIO higher this morning is the price point. So the Onvo L90 starts at roughly 36.9, so lower than what was anticipated, and that is including the battery pack. So that's amazing stuff. Of course, just based on that price point alone, it should really appeal to the masses. So potentially, even though I know NIO might have been premature in giving their actual milestones and targets, maybe this is pretty much their best chance at actually hitting their milestones that they've actually mentioned. But nonetheless, this is pretty good stuff. So the L90 will be the big deal for at least the next little bit. So let me know your general thoughts on that. And then of course, tomorrow we do have the monthly numbers. So it's kind of back-to-back catalysts, looking pretty good. Big money is definitely buying into NIO, both on the secondary market and the dark pool today. So today's going to be a fairly heavy volume day. At the same time, shorts are increasing during the pre-market, 95,000. So I think they kind of got caught red-handed. So I think they were anticipating NIO to kind of pull lower below that 450 mark, breaking more on a technical standpoint. And actually they are returning right now. So 31,000 shares are now net being returned. So obviously just doing the basic math, someone returned 100,000 shares. So pretty good stuff as far as that. Logical thing is that more and more shorts are going to continue to return. So definitely that is going to be a pretty good thing. But as far as some key points to really watch for with it at 472, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 458 is going to be a strong support. Flip side, 486 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And given NIO's previous momentum, I wouldn't really kind of count this pivot point being down and out. So potentially it could hit that 486 if there is that continuation of buying from institutions. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Regarding the options, there is a strong consensus for it to be roughly around that $5 range. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 450. So the fact that we are already were at 450, there is definitely showing that there's a lot more upside anticipated. So I think at the end of the day, NIO bouncing off of key points on a technical standpoint is always a good thing. Most likely because of the launch also should prompt a couple of new analyst ratings. I know I've mentioned that time and time again. It's either that's going to be the driving factor or potentially tomorrow's monthly numbers. But nonetheless, on the actual chart itself, 430 is that 200-day moving average. So that's going to be kind of that line in the sand. Luckily enough, it wasn't really tested whatsoever. So currently it is above the ALMA, showing that it wants to really move higher. So yeah, things turned very fast. I know a lot of people in the comments of my previous videos were rather bearish on the L90 and just think it wasn't that big of a deal. Clearly the market thinks otherwise. Just the real question is NIO able to hold these gains? Because we've seen this type of breakout occur in the past, and then as soon as the market does open, you see a swift pull lower. So just kind of watch for a lot of the support and resistance points, as I previously did mention. But at the same time, I think just given the hype around the L90 over the last couple weeks, for the most part, that's been one of the biggest driving factors why NIO has actually moved higher. So yeah, I think today's green day is justified. Maybe that's inverse, because I know sometimes I've called it and it goes the opposite way. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how that does all play out. But honestly, you can't ignore the actual data, and big money is legitimately buying. Shorts are returning, so that's usually a good recipe for higher highs. But again, moral of the story, just kind of watch for a lot of the key points that I did mention for support. If there's some pretty big developments, like let's say shorts return a massive amount today, I'll do a PM video as well. But for the most part, this is pretty good. So what's your viewpoint on this 36.9 price point? Did you expect it higher, lower? What's your kind of 2 cents on all that? And for those of you that are in obviously China, did anyone participate in the launch event? Or better yet, is anyone actually thinking about getting one? So let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over then take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.